Chairman. I would like to recognize our chaplain of the day, Rabbi Micah D. Greenstein, thank you. Greenstein with Temple Israel. He has been invited by Councilwoman Green. Rabbi Greenstein, please lead us in prayer.
Thank you, Chairwoman. My dear elected officials and guests, before my prayer, just 18 words, 18 being the biblical number for life. Here are the 18 words. Do the most that you can with the time that you have in the place where you are. May that be the mantra we share no matter what our district or religious tradition. Do the most that you can with the time that you have in the place where you are. Let us pray. God of every man, woman, and child in our great city filling this hall, though we differ in color and creed, we carry common convictions for Memphis and our destinies intertwine. As weary as we sometimes feel, inspire us at whatever hour we are working to use our minds to the best of our abilities, along with the determination to make a full and creative life possible for all people in Memphis. Help us to feel your presence, Lord, even when dealing with seemingly mundane matters. Remind us always of our responsibility as leaders by the example we set and decisions we make as our city's legislative branch. Bless us with enough determination to make each day better than yesterday for this city we love. And make us mindful that you have no other hands and hearts than ours. Following the devastating ice storm and some beautiful weather, we all know that while the warmth of the sun travels on the air, the warmth of your love, God, can travel only through each one of us. And finally, Lord, I would ask that you continue to bless the dedicated members of this council, their families, and the staff behind it all. Strengthen them and strengthen us all. We offer this prayer, this meeting, and every breath we take in your holy name, in the name of the one God who loves us all. And let us say, Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rabbi Greenstein, thank you so much for that beautiful prayer. Councilwoman Green, you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Rabbi. That was an amazing and beautiful prayer. I am here to bestow this honor upon you, be it hereby known that Rabbi Micah Greenstein, in recognition of a life of exemplary qualities, outstanding service to the city, meritorious involvement in humanitarian affairs, and demonstrated concern for governmental processes, has been appointed the Chaplain of the Day of the Memphis City Council.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Madam Comptroller, if you will please call the roll.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Council members Canali, Carlisle, Cooper Sutton, Easter Thomas,
Present.
Ford, Green, Logan, Smiley,
Absolutely.
Spinoza,
Here.
Walker,
Present.
Warren,
Present.
White,
Present.
Chairwoman Swearingen.
Thank you. We have
a quorum today.
Thank you. I believe Vice Chairman Carlisle has read the minutes for our February 3rd, 2026 meeting.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've read the minutes and find them to be in order, and I move for the adoption of the February 3rd, 2026 meeting minutes.
It has been properly moved by Vice Chair Carlisle. It has been seconded by Councilman Dr. Warren. Madam Comptroller, will you please conduct a roll call vote or prepare the screen for the approval of the minutes of the February 3rd, 2026 meeting?
Council members, please cast your votes. Councilmember Canali, yes. Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Please show Councilmember Spinoza as voting yes on the minutes. Councilmember Ford. Smiley, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
I'd like to recognize Vice Chairman Carlisle at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I move to adjourn the February 3rd, 2026 meeting.
Vice Chairman has adjourned the meeting. Councilman Dr. Warren has seconded the motion. Okay, now we need to redo that vote for the last item.
So
Madam
we're gonna
Comptroller, if you will
We're gonna
please.
reset up for the meetings now,
Yes,
and I'm gonna put in the motion again.
Yes.
The Carlisle,
please.
and it was seconded by?
Dr. Warren.
One moment, please. Council members, please cast your votes for the minutes at this time. Here are the votes for the minutes. Canali, yes. Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Please show Councilmember Spinoza as voting yes. Smiley, yes. Please show Councilmember White as voting yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Welcome to the February 24th, 2026 regular meeting of the Memphis City Council. Meetings of the council shall be conducted in an orderly manner to ensure the public has the full opportunity to be heard and the deliberate process of the council is retained at all times. We have received a number of public comments and will share them as each item is called. Comments that have been received for held items will be included in the official record of the meeting. Our held items are: item 1 will be held until March 3rd, 2026. Items 20, 22, 24, 25, and 28 will be held until March 24th, 2026. There is a motion to hear item number 22 during this meeting. Is there a second?
Do I have to officially move it in the record?
Yes, Councilman Smiley, you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Chairwoman Swearingen Washington. You see the amount of support that the library workers in support of hearing item number 22. I think we should pay them the respect to hear item number 22. As such, I officially move that we hear item number 22 today and dispose of the item today. Hopefully I have a second.
Electronically, is there a second?
Second.
All right, it has been properly moved.
Can I move without objection that we hear item number 22?
That's fine, without an objection. It has been moved by Smiley, seconded by Dr. Warren. Madam Controller, will please call this. Councilman Spinoza?
So I'm in the queue. I wanted to hold item 4, but the screen's not working. So no comment on this. Yeah, no comment on this. Yeah.
Okay. Item 22 is being held without objection. It's not being held without. All right. We're going to redo our presentations. We're going to do our presentations. All right. We're going to start with our presentations first. Our first presentation is going to be our own, Miss Allison Smith. Come on down, Miss Allison Smith. And then we will have the woman of the hour, Miss Christy Chandler. Make sure your mic is on so we can hear you.
All right. Okay. First, I would like to say that it is an honor to be here today and to present this piece in front of you all. And here's this piece. Is 28 days enough? Enough to honor the stories that carried feet across blood-soaked lands, calloused, hardened, never looking back because salt on a wounded soul will scorch the earth, and our God did not make us to destroy what he created, even though our rage was justified. Build my country, brick by brick, and do not expect compensation. Our dollars don't look like you. Build it with your backs, your hands, build it, but do not expect belonging. This house is thick with hypocrisy, so do not expect fair. Only expect the lies you are told. We didn't listen, though. Maybe that's why they call us hard of hearing. We have always struggled to hear know your place. We birthed new ways of being. When personhood was not an option, Black history, reduced to the shortest month of the year, as if this legacy could be contained, as if our fingerprints are not pressed into the foundation of this nation, as if the ground does not remember who tilled it, who bled into it, who prayed over it. You say celebrate, but a celebration without reckoning is just decoration. You hang our faces on posters draped in kente cloth, quoting the safest parts of our speeches, trimming our resistance into something digestible. How could we be, when the belly of the beast already knows our name? So we disrupt the status quo's stomach, because even when they said you don't belong, we built belonging too. In churches, on porches, in barbershops, in beauty salons. When Jim Crow shut doors, we built new hinges. When systems cracked, we learned how to survive inside the fracture and called it community. This is not a fragment, but legacy. We are descendants of people who survived what was designed to erase them, and still found time to dance, to sing, to love, still found time to imagine freedom. So I ask again, is 28 days enough? Because our existence is forever, and long after February folds back into March and March into April, we will still be here, breathing, building, becoming. Thank you all so much.
Our own Miss Allison Smith. It is my distinguished privilege, I would would like to be joined by the lady of the hour, the lady of the year, Miss Christy Chandler. Come on down. Sabrina, where's Sabrina? I know she's coming down. Anybody who wants to come down, you all are welcome.
I got my whole YG family.
Come on, shoot. This is a family thing. Now, let's get a little closer. I can read it. There you go. Whereas the Memphis City Council's humanitarian ward stands as the city's highest recognition reserved for individuals whose lives exemplify extraordinary service, unwavering compassion, and a lifelong commitment to uplifting humanity. Whereas Miss Christy Chandler embodies the very essence of humanitarian leadership, one rooted not in recognition, but in responsibility, not in acclaim, but in consistent and selfless service to others. Whereas in 1991, with vision, courage, and an unshakable belief in the potential of young people, Miss Christy Chandler founded the Young Actors Guild, launching what would become one of Memphis' most transformative youth development institutions dedicated to bringing the arts back to the community. Whereas, more than for 3 decades, Miss Christy Chandler has poured her heart, her discipline and purpose into the developing of over 41,000 children. Using the performing arts as a pathway to confidence, self-expression, leadership, and hope, ensuring that children from ages 3 to 17 are not only seen and heard, but affirmed and empowered. Whereas under her stewardship, Young Actors Guild has achieved national and international distinction performing for global leaders and cultural icons while producing alumni who have gone on to grace well-rounded and renowned stages, studios, and institutions. Yet, Miss Christy Chandler measures success not by fame, but by impact, as reflected in a remarkable 98% college graduation rate among her students. Guided by a deep respect for history and place, Miss Christy Chandler expanded her vision through partnership with the city of Memphis in 2019, transforming a historic, raggedy firehouse in the Orange Mound Bethel Grove community, one of the nation's oldest African-American neighborhoods, into a beacon of creativity, opportunity, pride, and is it gorgeous? That vision continues to flourish through the Harriet Performing Arts Center, a place where freedom through the arts is cultivated daily, and where young people from every background are reminded that their stories matter, their gifts are worthy, and their dreams are possible. Miss Christy Chandler's life work reflects a rare blend of excellence and empathy, discipline and love, leadership and humility, qualities that strengthen communities, bridge divides, and reminds us of our shared responsibility to the next generation. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Chairwoman Janice Swearingen Washington and the entire Memphis City Council, we are honored to acknowledge Miss Christy Chandler. She is the 2025 Memphis City Council Humanitarian Award, and we are honoring you for your extraordinary contributions to youth development, cultural enrichment, and the moral fabric of the city. Be it further resolved that this award affirms Miss Christy Chandler's legacy as a woman whose life's work has transformed into purpose, passion into possibility, and communities into places of belonging. Be it further resolved that this resolution be presented as a lasting symbol of the city's highest gratitude and esteem, acknowledging that because of Miss Christy Chandler, generations of young people will walk taller, dream bigger, and lead with confidence, forever changing Memphis to the better, given by my hand, by the great seal of the city of Memphis, Janice Swearingen Washington, your councilwoman, city council. We love you. Yes. And then you can talk and then come in all over your presentation.
Good evening. Today is super special. I've had the opportunity to introduce this group many times, but today I'm speaking to the 8-year-old Christy Chandler that grew up on Parkway, who had a vision and a dream to impact, engage, and inspire youth through the arts. Today, I'm speaking to the visionary and the builder, to the creative. Today, I'm speaking to the young people, the 42,000 young people that have come through our program, that have gone on to higher heights, such as American Idol, like Mr. Gideon McKinney. Wave your hand. Who flew in today to be with us from New York City, but also Alvin Ailey, the Dance Theater of Harlem, Joffrey Ballet, and the list goes on. And I get excited because when I think about an organization and a young person at 8 years old, a young girl that has so much joy, that has so much energy, but also had a creative imagination that Ms. Louise Chandler, her mother, fed into and allowed her to create plays in her backyard. Those plays have turned into an organization that celebrates 35 years to this year. Y'all celebrate that? And that has allowed young people to have both access and also opportunity to be both bold and be brave. It's allowed young people to have a trajectory that does not mean that what the media is saying. Oftentimes they're portrayed in negativity, but because of Young Actors Guild, they have a safe space to be who they are, to grow up, to be the next lawyers, the next doctors, and guess what? Even the next Christy Chandler that has a nonprofit that can impact more children here in the city of Memphis. Today we are proud. Today we are honored. Today we are grateful for an artistic director that feeds into our city, that does not allow our young people to go to the wayside, but that continues to build and grow this city. And so today, Miss Christy, today is about honoring you with this presentation, with our young people, with our Young Actors Guild parents, and with our alumni, Mr. Gideon McKinney. I ask that you all would put your hands together for Young Actors Guild company dancers, Young Actors Guild parents, our special guest, Ms. Sharonda McPhail, and our amazing board. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys enjoy our presentation. As we present today, total praise, as we give God all honor and glory, and total praise for the opportunity to be able to do what Miss Christy has done. Thank you.
to the hills, knowing my help is coming from you. And your peace you give me in time of the storm. You're the source of my strength. Yeah. You are the strength of my life. And I lift my hands in total praise to you. I will lift mine eyes to the hills, knowing my help is coming from you, and your peace you give me in time of the storm. Said you yeah, and you are. I lift my hands in total, total, total praise to you. Oh, you are. You're the source, and you are the strength of my life. And I lift my hands. I lift them in total, total, total praise. Praise to you. Sing amen. Amen. Oh, amen. And we join with the angels and the 24 elders, and we declare your glory, and we say, amen.
Memphis, a change gonna come.
Memphis on, get in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All of that talent is the result of Miss Christy Chamba. Thank you for what you do for Memphis. Beautiful presentation. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, YAG parents. We appreciate you. We celebrate you. All right. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 22.
Item number 22 is a referendum ordinance to amend Article 34, Section 250 of the Home Rule Charter of the City of Memphis relative to the classification of officers and positions, exemptions from article, to amend the classification of employees of the Memphis and Shelby County Public Library to allow civil service status, up for third and final reading. Ordinance number 5966 is sponsored by council members Smiley, Canali, Cooper Sutton, Easter Thomas, Ford, Green, Spinoza, Swearingen Washington, Walker, and Warren. This was held from our February 3rd council meeting.
Councilman Smiley, you're recognized this time.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, and also thank you for calling this item somewhat early. I think we talked about this item at length, in particular during the committee meeting. But I do know some of the council members had some outstanding questions, and I do know Councilwoman White. We spoke specifically about the folks who are organizing with the library workers having an opportunity to speak to the process and how many people within the library division been contacted. Also, with what level of percent. So if the chair wouldn't mind, I would ask someone that represents the library workers to come speak specifically to the work that they've been done. Councilman Colley says something. And with that, I would like to move this item to the floor. I've done so electronically. And a second.
It has been properly moved by Councilman Smiley, seconded by Councilwoman Green.
So this is an easy question for us to answer.
If you'll please give us your...
Oh, yes. It's Emmeline Rogers. My address is 670 West Drive. This is an easy question for us to answer. We have spoken to all library workers. We have around 70% support from all the library worker employees who would be able to fall under civil service. And 70% support gaining the protections and rights that go along with civil service status. Library workers of all ages and levels have rejected the presumption that we are political appointees. This evidence has been submitted in November in the form of the cards that we sent to the mayor. And so even library workers who have been too afraid to join the unionizing efforts that we are putting together do support our attempt to get civil service. And not everybody has been able to come to city council, which has been a part of it. A lot of us have we've had to work. We work till 6. And a lot of people are also afraid to come because we don't have civil service protections because we are appointed And so I also would like to ask Wayne Dowdy to come up. He can speak better to, he's been at the library for, I think, 33 years, and so he's able to speak to how long this has been an issue for library workers. So.
All right, if I may, we have a number of cards to speak. If it's okay, can we allow Mr. Dowdy to speak? I mean, show thumbs. Okay, Mr. Dowdy, come and speak. We know you're the local historian, so go ahead.
Well, my name is G. Wayne Dowdy, 3574 Marion Avenue, Memphis 38111. As Emmeline mentioned, I've worked here 32 years. And in 2005, when library employees became fully part of the city system, we were not given civil service status at that time. Unlike the Park Commission in 2000, everybody who worked for Park Services was automatically made civil service. But beside that, I would, at that time, I was arguing with, not arguing, but I was bringing up the fact to library administration that we should be civil service. There was no attempt by me to organize but I had very many spirited discussions with our director at the time, Keenan McCloy. She didn't agree with that position, and of course, when she disagreed, I certainly wasn't trying to go behind her back or do anything like that. So I have spoken to everyone who has been in the system for 20 or 30 years who I've worked with, and they are universally for civil service protection. And I might also say, I am not a union man. I'm not eligible to be part of the union. I'm not sure I would support that if I was eligible, to be quite honest. I don't know what my position would be because I have not had to face that. But I am for civil service because it is democratic and it provides equality to all city employees. And that's what I'm concerned about, not just about library employees, but all city employees who should receive that protection, and we keep a merit-based system as opposed to a political system.
Thank you, Mr. Dowdy. We have a number of coming cards at the council. The chairwoman will allow me to go through the coming cards as quickly as possible. Mr. Dowdy, got your card here. You already spoke. Jonathan Hill. All right, so to establish some order, because we have a number of cards, we have 12 cards. Could we place 10 minutes on the clock? We have 12 cards. I think we can put 15 minutes on the clock, and can we just be respectful that someone's coming behind you as well? All right, the floor is yours, Mr. Hill.
My name is Jonathan Hill, 1350 Concourse Avenue, 38104. And I would just like to start by, if you are here and you are a supporter of the library, would you please stand? If you're here in support of the libraries. Look at this. Honestly, everything that I was going to say has been said, and I would just like to point this out. We are a diverse group. We are of different ages, different backgrounds, and we are over a super majority of us. We are informed, and we've made our voice clear. This is what we want. Please vote yes for this. Thank you.
Quick question for those of you standing. If you do not work for the library, could you sit down? Okay. Go ahead.
We don't get off until 6, and some of us work till 8. And like they said before, some people are
stand back up for your support.
scared to be here. So,
okay,
that's it.
All right, Ms. Farmer, you're next.
Hi, Alexandra Farmer, 1044 Bruce Street, 38104. Yeah, I would just like to speak to this being a representative movement for all library workers. We have spoken to every single library worker. We have over 70% now. We sent you all, yeah.
I'm sorry, I was speaking while you were talking.
Oh, yeah.
Could you back up to the very beginning? Because I think there is some confusion about how many library workers have been notified about the attempt to obtain civil service status during the process. I know it was said by the first person, but I want you to please reiterate that and then go ahead with your comments.
I would be happy to. So we have spoken to every library worker about this effort. We have 70% of people who have signed authorization cards and want to have civil service in a free and fair union election, or at least the opportunity for that, like all of the other divisions.
Quick question. Do we know how many library workers you spoke to? You said 70%. I want to know a number.
So we have systematically spoken to every single worker who is not a manager or a supervisor. We are also aware, though, that the managers and supervisors understand civil service. This has been covered in the news quite thoroughly for the last several months, even the point about firing and rehiring. Even though the managers and the supervisors would not be represented by our union, many of them still want the protections of civil service and feel that it is very unfair that they are not protected in the same way that other divisions are. So the civil service issue and the union issue are separate but related, and even people who work in the library who don't support the union would like civil service. Many of the people who did not sign cards because they are afraid of retaliation and they're afraid of being fired. The reason that we don't have more library workers here is because our libraries are severely and horrifyingly understaffed right now, and people cannot leave the library to come here. They want to be here. They support us. Also, many people don't come because they are terrified. They want these changes in our libraries, and frankly, we need these changes in our libraries. And all we're asking for is to have a voice. And I think that in the city of Memphis, with our history of unions and people fighting to be heard and to have a voice, we are just asking our elected officials to hear us and to put this on the ballot. Let the people decide. We deserve to have a union vote, and separate from that but related, we deserve to be treated the same way as everybody else in the city divisions. There's no reason that library workers should be considered political appointees and be afraid every day about doing something or saying something that's going to end up in political retaliation. So I understand the concerns and I appreciate the council wanting to be thorough, but we have been coming to you for months and we've been communicating what we want. We've sent you our cards. You know, we have talked to even like managers and supervisors who really believe that the library deserves civil service. So we're happy to answer more questions, and I'm just really grateful for this time because this is exactly what we're looking for, is to be able to have a forum, to have a voice. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Next comment, Denise. I will butcher your name, so I won't even attempt it. Did I pronounce it correctly? Yeah. Could you please state your full name and pronounce your last name?
Yes, my name is Denise. Last name is Ewell, almost like Jewel with a Y. Yeah, my address is 2939 Bartlett Crest Drive, apartment number 3, Bartlett, Tennessee, 38134. So I want to be direct. This council has an opportunity today to stand on the right side of history or to let the wrong side run out the clock. Library workers have done everything asked of us. We have spoken to city HR and the mayor, who directed us to you and shown up and made reasonable request. Place a referendum on the ballot and let Memphis voters decide. That's it. We are not asking for council to decide for us. We are asking for you to trust the taxpayers of Memphis with this question. But instead of action, some have used delay as a strategy and allowed the city administration space to quietly plant doubt, mischaracterize our ask, and discourage support. We see it, our coworkers see it, and the people of Memphis see it. Misinformation thrives in the gaps that inaction creates. A yes vote closes that gap. It says that this council will not be used as a waiting room while workers' rights are quietly undermined. The people of Memphis are watching this chamber. We hope to see courage. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Peterson, Lisa Peterson? Lisa Peterson? All right, and Ms. Solomon, could you get closer and make your way?
Hello, my name is Lisa Peterson. I live at 5012 Newcastle Road, 38117. One of the things that I know is Wayne Dowdy talked about that we've been, sorry, there's lots of hand signals happening. But that the civil service protections have been an ongoing issue in the libraries, that this is a holdout from before the library was a city department. It's something from when it was duly funded. You must go through a civil service hiring process that has never been defined for us of what distinguishes that hiring process from the one that all of us went through. I applied for my job through the City of Memphis website. I went through an interview with library managers. I did a background check. I did the drug test. I did all of the things that I have been told by other city employees and other divisions that they went through. So one of the points of confusion for us is why should we obtain civil service status, we should have to go through a rehiring process when we already did it. We already got hired for the jobs. We applied. We said we want to do this. We show up every day. We're doing the work. So it's just feels like an extra layer of complication that shouldn't need to be there, especially when we've heard from members of the Nashville City Council that they were able to do a similar transfer from appointed to civil service for their library without having to go through a rehiring process. So thank you.
All right, thank you. I believe Councilwoman Walker has a couple questions before we get to the remaining cards. Councilwoman.
Thank you, Chairman Smiley. So to respond to the last workers' comment, when you made the analogy, I think it was to Nashville, we have two different governments. And so as it relates to the civil service status and those jobs being reposted, that's in our charter. So that's not a fair, legitimate comparison. But I do have a few questions. And I want to start off by saying that I love the library, and I used to work at the library myself. I was a reference librarian in the link department. So as it relates to, I need a representative to come back down to the podium to respond.
Samara Solomon.
Okay, what's most important to the library staff?
What's most important?
Being part of a union or the civil service status?
Right now it's a
you can't
civil.
be in the union unless you can't get the union until you get the civil service status. So which is more important?
Right now it's a civil service status, yes.
So I co-signed this. I'm a co-sponsor. And I don't have a problem with this going before the community and letting them vote on it. My concern is that have all of the library employees receive the information that HR shared earlier? Because based on what the previous person said, there are many of you who don't believe what's in our charter with respect to having to reapply for your jobs. But that's very real, and it is in the charter. So you can stay right there. I want to pivot over to Attorney Wade. So let's say we approve this, it goes to the ballot, it's a referendum, and it is successful. Then once the jobs are posted and there's at least one library staff person who says they didn't know that they had to reapply for their job, can they sue us?
Probably not. I think I think they have an obligation to be informed, and I think what we did at committee was to try to have HR provide the information today so everybody would know about it. What I talked to Chief Fouché about doing is addressing a letter to you and to Councilwoman Logan, and we post it on our website and then let people respond to it so there would be no question that they're all on notice that that would be happening. So technically, I mean, you asked me if I could defend it either way. Of course I could.
Okay, thank you for that. And to the ladies at the podium, either one of you or both of you can respond. So the information dealing with the civil service status that he said that could be posted on the website, have all the library employees been informed of this? And if so, through what means of communication have they been informed of this?
So to the best of our understanding, well, all library workers have been informed about civil service. We also have informed everybody about what we have heard from HR about the firing and rehiring process. We have informed people. Since we haven't received anything in written, solid communication, and because we cannot find this anywhere we can't find this legally written anywhere as something that the city will have to follow through on, we haven't been able to communicate it in those terms. We've been able to do it verbally with every library worker, but we cannot find anything that says that we will have to be fired and then rehired, because every library worker has already gone through the hiring process that is required of a civil service worker.
So, Attorney Wade, can you speak to what she just said? They can't find that anywhere. Sure.
Hold on a minute. Attorney Owens is pulling it up right now, and I want to read it in the record.
Okay, and while they're locating that...
I'm sure they have copies of our charter at the library. I know they do because I've seen it, and Wayne Dowdy talked about it when he gave his opinion. So I'm at a loss of why they don't know what it says.
Okay, and while they're locating that, I think this is my last question. So you said that you all talked to everybody and everybody knows. Has there been any electronic, any type of system-wide communication where all the library staff have been notified of this? And that's my concern. I support you all, but also as responsible stewards, as responsible leaders, and to the ones who can't make it for the endless number of reasons, I feel that everyone should have the benefit of this information. I support you all, but everyone should have the benefit of this information. It would break my heart for someone to have to reapply for their job and they don't get rehired and they say they didn't know about the process.
If I may, can I speak to this? So again, we have a tight network of our coworkers who have been organizing for almost 2 years. We systematically talk to everyone. Everyone wants civil service. We have communicated what the city has told us. Again, not directly, because again, this is a problem that we have, is we don't have direct communication. But we have heard this argument. I would love to ask Wayne Dowdy to come up and speak to, yes, Councilman Smiley.
The cards that the workers who are in support sign, could you talk about that?
The authorization cards?
Authorization forms, that's what it's called.
Sure. So we have gone to every single worker who is not a manager or a supervisor in the Memphis Public Library system, and we have talked to each other. We've talked through all of our fears about doing this work, and we've talked to them about what civil service in a union would mean. People understand that this is going to be a difficult road for us, and it already has been a difficult road, but we are willing to fight for that because we would like to have the same protections that other workers in the city already enjoy.
Can we hear from Attorney Wade, please? Or Attorney Owens, either one.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Right there. All right. I'm looking at referendum ordinance 3233, Civil Service, Article 34, Section 12. All applicants for employment in positions protected by this article shall be subjected to competitive job-related examinations under such rules and regulations as may be adopted by the Director of Personnel. And that means that the jobs that they applied for and went through the process that they say everyone else did were as appointed positions. These positions are new. They're civil service positions. To join those positions, you have to be subject to a job-related application. So they would have to reapply and go through a competitive job-related application, and that's part of the charter. Now, we've heard some discussion from G. Wayne Dowdy at one point saying that at some point the administration did something for the Park Commission. The Park Commission were not exempt positions under our charter. The library workers were. And so that's where the distinction is. You can create an exemption, but you can't take an exemption away except by charter amendment. That's why they have to do this. So they would have to reapply for their jobs, yes.
Point of information, Madam Chair. Thank you. If for some reason in this particular ordinance that we sent to the voters, we had language that stated that we realized our charter states these employees would have to reapply for their job, but the voters in this election determined that these voters will not have to reapply for their job. Can we add that to the ordinance in some sort of legal fashion so the voters can make a decision whether they want them to reapply or not? Is that, can we put that in this ordinance as an amendment?
Let me address that. And I didn't bring that up because the question that Councilmember Walker asked me was, could someone sue us? If we did that, oh yeah, there'd be a lot of people suing us because they had to go through job-related examinations to go through civil service, and you exempt these people when you didn't exempt others, I think you'd have a big problem.
In what manner? These people have already been
called the Constitution, discrimination, that you haven't adhered and equally applied the rules to all people in civil service.
But this would be done by voters and would not be done by us.
Voters cannot contravene the United States Constitution, Councilwoman.
This would be against the United States Constitution?
Yes, sir. If I may. So if you have issue with what's being said, let's not speak loudly. You do show by a show of thumbs up or thumbs down.
Chairwoman, I'm sorry.
I'm about to ask you to do what you're about to do because I know where this is going to go.
Because you already know where it's going. Thank you.
You're in the queue.
Chairwoman, thank you. I'm in the queue. I'm calling the question. We already know where we are. We've heard what they want, and my vote is yes for them. Let's vote so we can move forward. Calling the question.
Councilman Carlisle said it
requires a vote.
I just, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to make a comment. I was going to wait till everybody spoke.
Okay.
But I didn't want to cut anybody off. All right. I appreciate all the effort. I think this probably, I'd agree. I think if you were statistically to look at the workforce census of the library staff, you're going to find the ability to research. I can appreciate that. I think where the hookup is for me is you got the ability of like, let the people speak, and I hear that, and then we're the arbiters, and I appreciate that. I think where I get hung up is after 6 years here, and I actually do agree with the sentiment of being treated differently, whatever the lineage is. Like, there's so many stories about Memphis and Shelby County of like, how did we get here? And it's like, you hear the story and you're like, how did that happen? Like, this is part of that. But I said from the beginning, I don't think civil service is the mechanism for the future. I think it is an archaic, easy. Let me make my point before you thumbs down. Okay, all right, that's America. Thumbs down before anybody explains themselves. That's checks. I think the point is civil service is archaic in the way that it's executed. And if you've been through it, then you probably know. If you haven't, then you don't have a clue. And the fact that we roll people for 36 plus months without any sort of employment certainty is insane. And there's no fix to that today. So the idea that we would add another 300 or 250 employees to a process that is already overly cumbersome to the city, both as an entity and to the employee, as the process it practically is operated today, it does not operate well. It's got to be fixed. So for me, I'm not supporting the referendum ordinance. And look, and I understand my colleagues are, and it's going to pass. It's fine. I just want to be clear about why. I think you should be put on the same level. I just think that civil service is not it. And I think that we and colleagues of mine plan to bring forward basically a swap. You want equal protections as employees and you want collective bargaining. I think you should have them. Civil service is not the mechanism. And the change has to happen. You're like, what is? It's easy. I'll tell you. It's arbitration. It's mediation. It's anything other than an appointed board of the gentleman holding the E. Just so you understand, I will explain it to you. When you have appointed people that barely can get down here to hear very serious cases about your employment future, and they are barely paying attention to what is happening, I wouldn't want that person advocating or making decisions on my behalf. And that's the process that currently exists in the city. I don't even know how many attorneys we have currently appointed to the Civil Service Commission. I know we don't have a full complement, and we never usually do. So, much like the impasse ordinance that is circulating through with mediation or arbitration, so that we can bring these employment issues to a head sooner, like that's the path we need to go. And I agree, again, that library workers, managerial, non-supervisory managerial, should be treated on the same level as every other Memphis City employee would be. Now, you layer in we'll talk unions later, but today for civil service, I just don't agree with the mechanism. I agree you should be treated the same, and I hope and I believe a partner of mine and a couple others are going to try and propose a system that would maybe swap this out, and we'll just have to take them together. But I wish you well with the voters, and I'm sorry that we just have to agree to disagree on this one, but I appreciate all the time and effort and energy that you put into it, and thank you for all that you do at the libraries. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Controller, let's call for the vote.
Oh, yes. Jeff?
Canale, yes. Carlisle, no. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes.
Madam Chair, we just voted on calling the question, right? No, it was back.
All right, Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 23.
Item number 23 is an ordinance amending the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code as adopted by the City of Memphis on August 10th, 2010, and by Shelby County on August 9th, 2010, as amended, to revise the zoning and subdivision regulations within the City of Memphis pertaining to correctional facilities specifically detention centers, jails, and prisons. Up for third and final reading, ordinance number 5958 is sponsored by Councilwomen Easter, Thomas, and Green, and this was held from our February 3rd meeting.
Councilman Spinoza, I'm going to call on you, and then I will call on Councilwoman Dr. Easter Thomas.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This received a positive recommendation in committee, and I will also follow your lead and call on Councilwoman Easter Thomas and possibly Councilwoman Green, but we'll go Easter Thomas.
Councilwoman Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Do we have any comment cards for this item?
Yes, we do have 4 cards, and let me say it has been properly moved by Councilman Spinoza, seconded by Councilwoman Dr. Green. You may proceed. Did you want to make comments at this time?
Juris Doctor, it still counts. No, I can wait because I definitely want to hear from the comment cards that are submitted.
Okay, well, we will start with our comment cards. Zoe Dondelinger. Just state your name, and then you will proceed.
Alrighty. My name is Zoe Dondelinger. My address is on my comment card. I am speaking out against Agenda Item 23 to revise the zoning and subdivision regulations within Memphis pertaining to correctional facilities regarding detention centers, jails, and prisons. It is my understanding that these amendments are being proposed to allow the construction of a new jail facility in New Chicago. According to investigation from the Department of Justice following the brutal murder of Tyree Nichols, MPD has a pattern and practice of targeting Black people and mentally disabled people and violating their constitutional rights. If our jails are full to the brim, the humane and right decision isn't to build another jail. The just and fair option is to take efforts to stop petty and illegal arrests and to make policy changes that reduce the effects of poverty and environmental pollutions for all Memphians. The United States has the highest population of its own citizens incarcerated compared to European countries. Why is that? Many European countries have turned their focus away from punishment in their correctional facilities to actual proven rehabilitation programs that address the reasons why people commit crimes, such as poverty and mental illness. The United States, however, has a violent history with its Black citizens. When slavery was abolished, according to the 13th Amendment, this moved slavery to the prison system, meaning that because white people could no longer terrorize Black people, one slip-up would result in Black people being owned by the state and facing the same cruel and inhumane conditions as Black people were subjected to during slavery. If you are against sentencing your constituents to slavery, you will do everything to oppose this new jail being built in New Chicago. Thank you and happy Black History Month.
Thank you so much. We'll now hear from Andrea Bell. And after Andrea Bell, we'll hear from Glenda Hicks, Mrs. Hicks. If you'll please just state your name and you may proceed.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Andrea Bell, my address is on my card. Hi, I am here because I want to talk about this ordinance. I was, of course, against it at the county commission's location, and I am against it here. Let's just make sure we understand that a change is going to come, but this is not the way. We cannot go through the back doors to have things happen along the way. What you decide now will affect generations. What you do, you have the power, commissioners, to make a difference. Sometimes we have to make tough decisions so that we can help the people over profit. I am just asking you to look at this and you decide and make a decision for a better Memphis. to say no to this ordinance. Thank you.
I think we need some clarification on what we're voting on.
Point of information. Another point of information.
Why don't you do it now because they're coming and speaking? You want to say something, Councilwoman Green? All right.
Madam Chair, I'd like to say something.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, what I'd like to say is, as I'm reading this ordinance, what it says is even in the areas where prisons are currently allowed automatically, we are now saying they cannot be allowed even in those areas without special use approval, which means those locations have to come to this body for approval. So this is an ordinance to regulate all placement of all prisons, and it'll come here first. So it's not gonna be dumped in your backyard. Where it can go now by right, it will no longer be able to go. So what this is doing is what you're asking for. And you know, sometimes all this stuff is hard to read. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for that clarification. Mrs. Hicks, you're
I'm
on
sorry.
at this time. Please come down.
Ms. Chairwoman, since my time wasn't due and we had a clarification, could I get 30 seconds back on the clock?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you so much. I just want 30 seconds to explain myself and make sure that you understand that I am aware of what the terminology is. Yes, sir. Special permit. I was at the county commissioner's office and we said over there that why are we even listening to this over here at the city side? That is my question. Why are we entertaining this at the city commissioner's office when the county is the one who deals with the jails? I understand you want a special permit. I understand that. But is it necessary if the county commissioner's office has already said no jail? Thank you.
I think that the reason you're listening is if it's in the city and we decide we want to have a say as a city council of whether a prison goes somewhere in our city limits, we want to have a say about that, not just the county commission. We want to have city residents be able to come to us and not just the county commission. That's why it's here.
Thank you, Ms. Hicks.
Glenda Hicks. So I hear what was just shared by Councilman Warren, and my question is, why don't we just make it absolute? Why are we saying the whereas regarding special use approval review? It has been discussed time after time after time that the community of New Chicago does not want this in their community. So why are we making concessions with that reference is my question. Why is that even attached? Why aren't we just saying absolutely not in New Chicago and leave it at that?
Thank you. Dr. Atwater, Dr. Carnita Atwater.
Dr. Carnita Atwater, 1098 Firestone.
You can just say your name. You don't have to say your address.
Okay, no problem. I want to get a little bit of history on this here also, too. We do have 12,000 signatures in opposition to this ordinance. The stakeholders in the New Chicago community is against the 5958 ordinance. They live in the community, they work in the community, and they go to church in the community. Most people that want this jail in New Chicago is for it. Now, we are going to fight with all our might when it comes to putting a jail in our community, because the county commission have already said that. So why would the city council even want to entertain it? Now, the problem we have is the misleading of the public on July the 22nd, 2025, when this ordinance was presented as a social service institution, when we knew that it was the jail, detention center, and prison. Then, August the 19th, 2025, it was presented again, and it was unethical and immoral to mislead the community. The third reading, I came up here and identified that, and you pulled it off the agenda. For Canali, you said that it will be gone and it will never come back. Now it's back on the table. The only thing we have to say, if you all vote on this ordinance today, we are prepared legally to address it. You can't come through the back door and say that it's going to help the community when this should not even be in the city council. So we know that you're trying to do something undermining. God bless you all.
Thank you. Councilwoman Easter Thomas, you're in the queue. You're recognized.
Thank you, Chairwoman. To the constituents that have came today and that have came before, I definitely hear you. The Unified Development Code is a document. It was adopted in 2010 by both city and county legislative bodies. This was seen as a way to streamline zoning approvals in both the city and the county. As it stands, the code is to be followed by the Land Use Control Board, while allowing the city and county governing bodies to make amendments when necessary. Many times on this body, we only see zoning items that have requested an appeal, are in need of variance, or those that are determined in the Unified Development Code as special use. When the council reviews and decides on zoning items, such as the many we've seen today, the citizens of Memphis then have a more direct way of reviewing these items and then making considerations on whether to engage their duly elected representatives on the subject or not. It opens up the items to the broader public, solicits comments, and requires 13 Memphis City Council members to take into consideration the probable impact of that one zoning decision on all of the Memphis that they represent. It allows us as a body to place decisions around development, compatibility, and alignment into a different context. So when zoning items come to council, we are allowed that opportunity to weigh in. And because of that, we are able to bring the people into the equation. This particular ordinance to amend the Memphis City Council the Memphis and Shelby County Development Code as it pertains to correctional facilities, jails, and prisons in the city of Memphis will do the following. 1, require correctional facilities to be under special use approval by the Memphis City Council. And 2, end the zoning allowance of correctional facilities by right in the entire city of Memphis. Our community deserves a path to fight back when any jail is being proposed in our communities, a decision that will impact where folks live, where they work, and where they raise their children. Generational decisions in our city should include the community that wants to see it prosper. The people of Memphis determine how their neighborhoods grow for generations. The jail proposal in New Chicago exposed a problem that we needed to make city government and our zoning code work better for the people. Although correctional facilities may be a current county determination, within the city of Memphis proper, our citizens always benefit from having more representation, more time for input, and more consideration about decisions that should reflect our community's values, not those of big developers who probably have already counted you out. The jail proposal in New Chicago exposed a problem that must be fixed intentionally so that it isn't easily altered or dismantled in the future for the benefit of any and every neighborhood within the city of Memphis. Hopefully, we continue to have a county commission that will stand with us after this year's election. But this ordinance gives us more assurance than the community would have ever had if
arises again in any Memphis neighborhood or community. In closing, think about this. In less than 1 year, there will be dozens of families in transition at the Hospitality Village North on Firestone Avenue. Those who will be hoping for a better future for themselves and their children. They will be receiving resources that allow them to transcend from homelessness to hope. The churches in the surrounding area, Grace Baptist, Greater Faith Baptist, Victory Temple Kojic, Gospel Temple Baptist, and so many more have already committed to providing much needed support and ministry for these families. The students in these families may attend Manassas High School, Guthrie Elementary, or KIP Middle School, which are close by. There will be trips to the Kukatana African American Museum, the Pollinator Gardens, planted by the CRA, and the currently constructed, under construction, resource market that will be down Manassas Street. In less than 1 year, the New Chicago community will be transformably different. But we need to stay headed in a direction that is deemed positive by those neighbors who want to see it flourish. So we need to be able to look long-term and to make the right decisions now. Zoning is what regulates the way our communities and neighborhoods look, feel, and grow. After this vote, we, yes we, as a community can have more assurance for self-determination of how we prosper in our neighborhoods by giving another path of resistance, another avenue of engagement, and another opportunity at how we understand and involve ourselves in the political process. This is not only just going to help New Chicago, but any neighborhood in the city of Memphis that has a greater vision for their community and its future generations. I was praying that I was clear on my intention of the ordinance. And I also hope that the community heard even a little bit of my stance in thinking about our collective future. And hopefully I will receive this body's vote of approval. I see my co-sponsor is in the queue. And after that, Chair, I call for the question.
Thank you. Councilwoman Green, you're recognized at this time.
Thank you, Chair. It's hard to add on to what Councilwoman Dr. Easter Thomas has already said, but I do want to say this. The reason that I co-sponsored is because as much as New Chicago has been targeted for a new jail, and the community and the commission and the council have not wanted that to happen, it has equally been proposed that Shelby Farms in my district be the home of a new jail. And my community, my district, also do not want that to be our future for our children, especially in a place where all Memphians gather to get fresh air, to get exercise, to learn about nature. We don't want another jail plopped down in the middle of it. So that's why I co-sponsored this, was so that I too could stand firm against a new jail being placed in my district. There is one way for us to do that. That is this way. It is through this ordinance. It is through zoning. We don't have the ability to outright ban things. Right now, it is allowed in both of our districts in these areas by right. The way and the mechanism for us to put a stop to a new jail is through passing this ordinance. Much like after the fact, when XAI landed in our community, we put in an ordinance around data centers and special use permits. Sometimes we can't see what the problems are until they are in front of us. And when we do, this council in particular has been very proactive in adjusting the laws to make sure that we are making spaces and places for the people, not for the corporations. So that is the intent. As you look back through the language, and Attorney Wade will tell you, it is important that we put on the record the legislative intent as well. Our legislative intent is not to have more jails in our community. It is to stop them from coming and to be able to have community impact and your input in this process moving forward. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Madam Comptroller, please prepare the screens for the vote for item number 23.
Canali, yes. Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
Will you please acknowledge that Councilwoman White is recusing herself?
Please, yes, we'll note that for the minutes.
Thank you.
Councilwoman White is recused, no number.
For the record. Thank you.
For the record.
That item passes. We will now move to our zoning cases, items number 3 and 4. Madam Comptroller, will you please call item number 3?
Item number 3 is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 9.6 of the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, approving a planned development at the subject property located at 6450 Kirby Gate. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. It was held from February 3rd's meeting. The case number is PD 2515.
Councilman Spinoza, you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've asked Brett to speak on this. It did come out of committee with the positive recommendation, but I think Director Ragsdale wanted to make a comment regarding a recommendation from Councilman Warren.
And prior to you speaking, let me please state for the record that it has been moved by Councilman Spinoza and it has been seconded by Councilwoman Green.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Brett Ragsdale with the Division of Planning and Development. At committee, there was a discussion. Councilman Dr. Warren wanted to discuss the fence that we have on the property, and we were directed to go back to the applicant and talk with them about coming up with an option to increase the height of the fence. We've done that, so this is a friendly amendment. I have it on the screen, and I think we passed out copies of this as well. So a friendly amendment of item Roman number 2B. At the end of that, we would add and a minimum of 10 feet in height, and that's regarding the site-proof fence around the property. So if there's no objection to that, then we could do this as amended, please.
All right. Please note that we will accept that as amended. Madam Comptroller, if you'll please prepare the screens for that vote. Item number 3.
Council members, you may cast your votes at this time. Canali, yes. Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
Thank you.
That item passes. Item number 4, Councilman Spinoza.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. We're going to hold this item until next week for committee. And my recommendation is that next week in committee, we move it downstairs with same night minutes. Just wanted to say that for the record, but we're going to hold this until next week, and we'll move it back to committee without objection. Council members, appreciate that.
Thank you. For the record, item number 4 has been held.
Thank you, Chairwoman.
We will now move to our fiscal consent items. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call the fiscal consent agenda items. Item number 39 with same night minutes, please.
Thank you very much. Item number 39 is a resolution to amend the fiscal year 2026 operating budget, all council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Councilmember Ford Sr. There was a request to add this on for same night minutes to our fiscal consent agenda.
Thank you. Vice Chairman Carlisle, you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The committee met recommends approval, and I so move. When get it up on the screen. I've got 3 still, Madam Chair, or Madam Comptroller. It's displayed. Thank you, Madam Comptroller. And I so move.
It has been properly moved by Vice Chair Carlisle, seconded by Councilman Spinoza. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for the vote.
Canali, yes. Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call our add-ons and same night minutes, items 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39, beginning with item number 31.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Item number 31 is a resolution to allocate, appropriate, and transfer a sum total of $148,519.80 from 8 completed Memphis Parks Accelerate Memphis projects. Project numbers PKA 1000, PKA 1101, PKA 1201, PKA 1501, PKA 2401, PKA 3301, PKA 4101, and PKA 2201 to PK 04020 Westwood Pool Repairs, District 6, Super District 8. This resolution is sponsored by the administration, and there is a request for same night minutes.
Vice Chairman Carlisle, you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The committee met recommends approval, and I so move.
It has been moved by Councilman.
We're still showing 39 on the screen. 30.
It's been moved by Vice Chair Carlisle, seconded by Councilman Spinoza. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen.
Canali, yes. Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 32.
It should display momentarily. Item number 32 is a resolution to allocate $45,000 in FY26 Council Community Grant Program funds, all council districts. This resolution is sponsored by the Memphis City Council, and there is a request for same night minutes.
Vice Chair Carlisle, you're recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The committee met recommends approval, and I so move.
It has been properly moved by Vice Chair Carlisle, second by Councilman Spinoza. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen.
Canali, yes. Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 33.
Yes, it should display momentarily. Item number 33 is a resolution to appropriate $125,000 in general obligation bond allocations in CIP Project GA03001 Service Vehicles Projects. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by the administration, and there is a request for same-night minutes.
Thank you. Councilman Ford Sr., you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Chair. Committee met, recommend approval, and I so move.
If you'll move it electronically.
I thought I did.
All right, it's been moved by Councilman Ford Sr., seconded by Councilman Dr. Warren. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen.
34 is next. Needs to be on the board.
Oh, that was on me.
Canali, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Please show Councilmember Carlisle is voting yes on this item. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 34.
Item number 34 is a resolution to transfer and appropriate $7,041,500 from general obligation bond allocations in CIP Project GA03028 Innovation Corridor, BRT, and transfer $74,303.52 in general obligation bonds from CIP Project GA03027 Central Station to CIP Project GA03023 MATA New Operations and Maintenance Facility, and transfer and appropriate $1,200,000 in allocations for CIP Project GA03023 MATA New Operations and Maintenance Facility. This resolution is sponsored by the administration. There is a request for same-night minutes.
Councilman Ford Sr., you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Chair. Committee met, recommends approval, and I so move.
It has been moved by Councilman Ford Sr., seconded by Councilman Dr. Warren. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for the vote.
Canali, yes. Carlisle, yes. Please show Councilmember Ford as voting yes on this item. Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Please show Councilmember Yolanda Cooper Sutton as voting yes on this item. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 35.
Item number 35 is a resolution to appropriate $523,231 in general obligation bond allocations in CIP Project GA03032 MATA Bus Facility Project. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by the administration. There is a request for same-night minutes.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Councilman Ford Sr., you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Chair. Committee met, recommends approval, I so move.
It has been properly moved by Councilman Ford Sr., seconded by Councilman Dr. Warren. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for item number 35.
Canali, yes. Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 36.
Item number 36 is a resolution calling for an end to lawless ICE and CBP IEP surges across the country and calling on Congress to withhold any funding for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security without meaningful and significant guardrails. All council districts, this resolution is sponsored by Councilwoman Easter Thomas, and there is a request for same-night minutes.
Councilwoman White, you're recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The committee met and approved, and I so moved, but as amended by Dr. Warren, and that was
Okay.
approved.
If you'll move it
And I so moved.
electronically. All right, it has been properly moved by Councilwoman Attorney White, seconded by Councilman Dr. Warren. I'd like to recognize Councilwoman Dr. Easter Thomas at this time.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Just thank you in committee for us being able to have a concise but still robust conversation. Really the agreement that we don't want our federal tax dollars to go towards this in our country. And thank you, Councilman Warren, for adding the amendment in Section B that just directly outlines reconsidering previously approved funding directly for ICE and CBP. So I'm glad that we're standing with other cities in solidarity against this lawlessness that is taking place across our country. Thank you, Chairwoman.
Thank you so much. Madam Comptroller, if you will please note that it has been approved as amended. If you will please prepare the screen for the vote. Oh, I'm sorry, Councilwoman Green,
Okay.
before we vote.
Thank you, Chair. It's okay. I'm down here on the corner. Sometimes I get missed. I want to thank Dr. Easter Thomas, Councilwoman Dr. Easter Thomas, for bringing this. I think it's really important in this moment in time that we stand firm on the values that make our community and our country great. And we are staring down a legislative session that is pretty scary in regards to these issues. In my work on the county side, we have seen direct evidence that children are not going to school, that people are not going to their doctor's appointments, that there are people that are very terrified and afraid in our community. And so I'm glad that we are trying to do something to push back. And I hope that, you know, as we see American citizens, mothers, trying to exercise their First Amendment rights in being shot down in the streets, that we do everything we can to make our voices heard. It's still important that we do so. So I am grateful for those that have brought this and for all of us who have co-sponsored it today. I really appreciate the support.
Thank you. Very well said. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for item number 36. I'm not seeing any of those comments on my screen. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you.
That's
Councilwoman
okay. I've been
Cooper
ignored
Sutton.
twice. That's okay.
You really are. Thank you.
That's okay. Well, I totally agree with defunding, but will Trump see this with the federal? Are they going to see this resolution we did here in the city? Are they going to see this? Will Steve Cohen, will he get it to, are they going to see this?
Yes, ma'am. The process is once it's passed, and I've spoken to Dr. Easter Thomas, who's out off the dais right now, we're planning to send letters to our federal representatives and to the president.
Okay.
Good question. Thank you, Councilwoman Cooper Sutton. Any more comments?
Yeah, I mean.
Anybody else in the queue? Okay. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for item number 36.
Council members, you may cast your votes for item number 36. Canale abstained. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan abstained. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Please show Councilmember Spinoza as voting no. Chairwoman Swearingen-Washington, yes. I didn't look over there. How would you like to vote, Council? Amen. Please show Councilwoman Yolanda Cooper Sutton as abstaining.
That item passes. Thank you. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 37.
Item number 37, to the Memphis Board of Ethics, we have two reappointments, Scott McCormick and James Crone, and there is a request for same night minutes.
Councilwoman White, you're recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The committee met and recommended approval, and I so move.
It has been properly moved by Councilwoman White. It has been seconded by Councilman Spinoza. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for item number 37.
Canale, yes. Carlisle, yes. Cooper, Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Please show Council Member Logan as voting yes on this item. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 38 for the appointment for Library Services Director.
Item number 38 is the appointment of Eric D. Harris as Library Services Director, and there is a request for same night minutes.
Councilwoman Attorney White, you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The committee met and recommended approval, and I so move.
It has been properly moved by Councilwoman Attorney White, seconded by Councilman Dr. Warren. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for the vote for item number 38. I hope.
Canale, yes. Carlisle, yes. Cooper, Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Congratulations.
Congratulations, you make me hit more than 269 federal
All right, Madam Comptroller, if you will please call the consent agenda items number 5 through 7.
Thank you. There are 3 items. Item number 5 is a resolution approving the engineering plans for St. Jude East Gate and Road Project, Jean Logan Boulevard, and accepting bonds as security. There is a request for same night minutes. The contract number is CR-5491. Item number 6 is a resolution approving the engineering plans for intersection of 7th Street and A.W. Willis Avenue and accepting bond as security. There is a request for same night minutes. The contract number is CR-5492. Item number 7 is a resolution approving the engineering plans for TCAT Memphis Phase 2 and accepting bond as security. There is a request for same night minutes. The contract number is CR-5493. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, that concludes our consent.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller.
Ma'am, you're welcome.
Vice Chair Carlisle, you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. These items were discussed as a matter of consent and removed to the floor.
All right, it's been properly moved by Vice Chair Carlisle, second by Councilman Spinoza. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for the consent agenda items.
MLGW suggested. Canale, yes. Carlisle, yes. Cooper, Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call the MLGW fiscal consent agenda items 8 through 15.
Thank you. Item number 8 is a resolution ratifying and approving an invoice payment scope change and increase to contract number 12390, project portfolio management software tool acquisition with Work Order Inc. to ratify, expand the scope, and increase the current contract value in the funded amount of $20,020. Item number 9 is a resolution awarding purchase order for horizontal luminaires, LED 200-watt equivalent to Engineered Ceiling Components, LLC, in the amount of $361,038.08. Item number 10 is a resolution awarding purchase order for standard concrete post tops to Engineered Ceiling Components, LLC, in the amount of $190,838.60. Item number 11 is a resolution awarding contract number 12599, heavy-duty high-volume utility bill insertion system to Bell and Howell, LLC, and the associated lease agreement to Bell and Howell Capital Finance in the funded amount of $734,820. Item number 12 is a resolution approving a 12-month extension of purchase order number 7054390 in the amount of $1,643,300 with ATG Supply, LLC, for control cable. Item number 13 is a resolution approving scope change and increase to contract number 12594, Revenue and Meter Services Support with Bridgewater Consulting Group, Inc., to expand the scope and increase the current contract value in the funded amount of $350,000. Item number 14 is a resolution awarding contract number 12596, Public and Employee Education Campaign, to Leap 5 LLC, doing business as Matter, in the funded amount of $475,000. And our final item is number 15, and it is a request for same-night minutes. It's a resolution for approval of annual salary in the amount of $171,204.80 for the new hire position of Director, Internal Audit. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, that concludes your MLGW items.
All right, and if you'll please note that there's a request for same-night minutes for item number 15.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Walker, you're recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, I would like to recognize MLGW Board Commissioners Cheryl Pesci and Carl Person. Did he leave? Did he leave? Well, thank you for coming and congratulations on your reappointment. Madam Chair, the committee met with a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
It has been properly moved by Councilwoman by Councilwoman Walker.
The screens, we gotta get the MLG, hang tight. Will you get the MLGW consent up? We just got the regular consent.
Thank you, Vice Chair.
Yeah, perfect. All right.
Properly moved by Councilwoman Walker, second by Councilwoman Cooper Sutton. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for the vote.
Canale, yes. Carlisle, yes. Cooper, Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will go to the regular agenda and start with item number 16 for the Memphis Light, Gas, and Water MLGW Board reappointment.
Thank you. Item number 16 should display. It is a Memphis Light, Gas, and Water MLGW Board reappointment of Cheryl Pesky.
If it will show 16 on the, okay, there it is. All right. Councilwoman Attorney White, you're recognized at this time.
Thank you. The committee met and recommended approval, and I so move.
It has been properly moved by Councilwoman Attorney White, seconded by Councilwoman Cooper Sutton. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for item number 16.
Canali, yes. Carlisle, yes. Cooper, Sutton, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Please show Councilmember Ford as voting yes on this item. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Congratulations, Ms. Pesky. Ms. Pesci, I'm sorry. All right, item number 17, if you will call that, Madam Comptroller.
Thank you. It should display. Item number 17 is an appointment to our Stormwater Board, Brian Waldron.
Councilwoman White, you are recognized at this time.
Thank you. The committee met and recommended approval, and I so move.
It has been moved by Councilwoman White, seconded by Councilman Canali. If you will please prepare the screen for the vote for item number 17.
Canali, yes. Carlisle, yes. Cooper, Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Please show Chairwoman Swearingen Washington as voting yes on this item. Also show Council Member Eva Walker as voting yes on this item.
Thank you. That item passes. If you will please call item number 18.
Item number 18 has been selected. It is an appointment of Nicholas Thompson to the Memphis Board of Ethics.
Councilwoman White, you're recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The committee met and recommended approval, and I so move.
All right, it's been properly moved by Councilwoman White, seconded by Councilman Spinoza. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for the vote.
Canali, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 19.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Item number 19 is an ordinance renaming Monroe Avenue between Front Street and Riverside Drive as Hyde Square. Up for third and final reading, ordinance number 5968 is sponsored by the Memphis City Council.
Thank you. Before I call Attorney Wade, I need to make the motion first.
Madam Chair, I'd like to request that you hold it till next meeting.
Want me to hold this?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Without objection? All right, well, that item will be held, item number 19. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 20.
Item number 20 is an ordinance to amend Article 8, Section 2-370 of the Code of Ordinances relative to arbitration of labor disputes, impasse procedures, and preservation of charter powers of City Council. Up for third and final reading, ordinance number 5969 is sponsored by the Memphis City Council.
Vice Chair Carlisle, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Without objection, I'd request a hold on this item till our March 3rd meeting. Thank you, Madam Comptroller.
All right, that item will be held. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 21.
Item number 21 is an ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances of the City of Memphis pertaining to contracts and salaries or compensation. Let me reread this. Item number 21 is an ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances of the City of Memphis pertaining to contracts and salaries of the Memphis Light, Gas, and Water Division to set limits to contracts and salaries or compensation for employees or others, requiring City Council approval. Up for third and final reading, ordinance number 5967 is sponsored by Council members Canali and Spinoza, and this was held from February 3rd. Chairwoman.
Councilman Spinoza, Councilwoman Walker, you are recognized at this time. For item number 21.
The committee met with a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
If you'll move electronically. It has been properly moved by Councilwoman Walker, seconded by Councilman Spinoza. Please prepare. Oh, Councilwoman Logan, you're recognized. You're in the queue.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Chairwoman, may we have a brief overview again of this ordinance by President McGowan?
President McGowan, if you come down at this time.
A high-level overview.
Offer some clarification
of the changes that this will bring about. Thank you. Pardon me?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Doug McGowan, Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, 220 South Main. So I'm appreciative of the council members that brought this forward. I'm appreciative of this council and the way in which we have moved through in the last 3 years, getting our consent items heard publicly, so we have some detail for you to make decisions. When I arrived at Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, the limit was $250,000 for contracts and $180,000 for hiring. The council made a move about a year into that to reduce the contracting limits to $150,000 and hiring down to $120,000. During my previous tenure, when Mr. Young was here, the limit was $500,000 and hiring was at $180,000. It was moved down to $250,000. So it's been a number of places. Started way back in the day at $5,000, $50,000. It's changed over time. Whatever the limit is, we're going to bring that to you at City Council and bring those items to you. What's proposed today is to bring that number back to $500,000 for contracts and hiring to $180,000. Again, for context, this is for a $2.2 billion company. Practically, what you'll see as a change, Councilwoman Logan, is the amount of financial oversight you'll see change is about 4%. So you see about 4% less dollars that you would see. And on a practical number of items, it would be 1 to 2 items per council consent agenda item that would be reduced. I think the makers of this ordinance change were in it to help us be more agile and to be able to move forward quickly on some contracts, especially the smaller level contracts that we need and some purchases. And so I appreciate that sentiment. But the one thing I've always committed is that every purchase we make and every contract we have is available to you. We will report it out to you on a regular basis should you choose to desire that. And our financials are on our webpage each and every month so you can track our expenditures. So that's really what it does, is it brings it from the current 150 back to 500 and from 120 to 180 and reduces a small number per meeting that you would review. So, but we would follow exactly the same process as we have today, where we review at consent agenda all of the items that exceed that limit. Does that answer the question, Madam?
Yes.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Cooper Sutton, you're recognized. Do you need
Yes,
President McGowan?
I do. Thank you, Madam Chair. So we are lessening what you've been bringing to us this year. Is that what we're doing? Because you said 4%.
About 4% less dollars I'll bring to you, and about 1 or 2 items per meeting that I'll bring to you if you raise the limit.
Okay. And is that to shorten just your time in your presentation? Is that what that's doing?
It's not for the presentation.
Because you've done an excellent job, and it has been very transparent.
Sure.
And it gives the constituents and the citizens an opportunity, because everybody's not going online to see that, because I didn't when I wasn't up here.
Yeah, we agree. We agree. I love the process. In fact, I'm very pleased with it. What this allows to do, today was an example. We had a contract that was for about $200,000, and I had to come back because I added $20,000 to the contract. If we had raised the limit, you wouldn't see that for anything under $500,000.
Yeah, we wouldn't have even known that.
Right, so those are a number of those that's what you're considering today. And it's for expediency, and I think the folks that consider this heard from my contracting folks that it will just make it more expedient for us for some of the lower level purchases and the lower level contracts that we do. So that's what's for consideration. Again, I'm appreciative of people who have suggested this. I'm happy with the process, but it certainly will reduce a little bit of the overhead burden on us, but it doesn't reduce the oversight. Our board still has a limit of $250,000, so I have to bring everything to them. It's up to, anything over $250,000 I have to bring to you. In this case, anything over $500,000. So there is a stair-stepping authority there.
So will you be still appreciative if I say I still want you to come and keep it as it is? Would you still be appreciative of me as well?
I appreciate, yes, everybody. I appreciate the process and the questions. Yes. I think we have a much better system now where we explain this on consent.
Yes.
We're just talking about the number of things that we bring and the level of dollars that we bring. That's all.
Okay. I appreciate you. You always make things so very clear, so I appreciate you. Thank you.
Councilman Carlisle, you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Chief McGowan. Appreciate that. Just context of history, Councilman Canale was down here, and I just mentioned Baker Tilly commissioned a report, or MLGW commissioned a report in Baker Tilly with Baker Tilly for operational efficiencies within the entity that is MLGW. And one of its large areas of opportunity was the contracting limits, which recommended really they should move to $1 million. And what I would say is I'm here for 2 more years with this group. The next council can move it down just like this body did, even though I was not for it. I would say if you guys trust Chief McGowan to go do his job and you want to run efficiently, and when I mean efficiently, the contracts get signed faster so you get more bidders, you get more competitive pricing. We actually end up paying money to have all of this stuff come here for political purposes. And I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. I've been here long enough to just say what it is, because I think in the time I've been here, like 5 items have been pulled off, and maybe one of them got really debated. The other 3 or 4 were wonky, like what's going on in the background stuff. And so in all sincerity, I'm very supportive of this. I really think this group should move it to $1 million, because the amount of contracts that come through here, like that would impact that anybody would care about is de minimis. But the on-the-ground impact for procurement and MLGW is real. If you don't believe me, go read the report. Thank you. Thank you, Chief McGowan.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Councilwoman Logan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. My only concern was I wanted to make sure that we have checks and balances, and at the level that we feel gives us enough information to, do our job as we were elected. Now, by you saying that your board, I'm, familiar with people on your board, and so that is a checks and balances. So if they still have to see things over 250, and then we see those things over 500, I'm fine with that. But just going from, to 150 to 500, that was not setting well. There's a lot of room for things to get past us. But thank you for clarifying that and giving the public an opportunity to hear that. Thank you. I yield back.
Thank you. I think we'll now have the comment cards. Thank you so much, President McGowan. Did you want to add anything else?
No, I just appreciate, and Councilman Carlisle's right, the one thing for the small contracts we have in the sheltered market, if it had, it's a very small limit there, we're talking about raising that limit so that we have faster, we can protect the smaller contracts and award those more quickly. Sometimes speed is important to smaller bidders, and that's why the comment was made that sometimes smaller bidders can't afford to wait for the extra 2 or 4 weeks in order to hold their prices for us. So that's one of the other advantages. I failed to mention that at the beginning, but just something to consider for our smaller vendors. So thank you very much.
You're saying even with those expenditures, you'll still have to go before your board?
Oh, yes. Everything I do, today, everything I do that's over $150,000 I bring to our board and to city council. Tomorrow, if you were to make this change, my current board limit is, they never changed their limit because they went to the lower of city limit, would be $250,000 and you would be $500,000. So I would have authority to go under $250,000 for smaller contracts and then bring it to the board above $250,000 and bring it to you above $500,000. So and certainly we have a lot of oversight here with 2 board meetings per month, 2 council committee meetings per month, and 2 main council meetings per month. Just for context, my peers have 1 board meeting either a quarter or a month, and that's it. Okay. So we have lots of oversight. I'm very comfortable with your ability to get information from us. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, President McGowan. We will now hear from Ms. Bell. Is it Andrea Bell? Just give us your name, and then you may proceed.
Good evening, Andrea Bell. I'm here to discuss, I was here in December. Let me start off with that. And remember the 4% that I requested the council members to pause? We have an issue now. I just heard President McGowan said that you guys approving this would be another 4%. The difference would be a 4%. He said something about 4%.
I got this one. The council I'll do the point of order here. The council took action 2 years ago.
Not council, I said McGowan.
I'm not going to be interrupted. I'm going to explain it to you for your benefit, but you're not going to interrupt me. This body took action in order to approve a multi-year rate increase of 4% in order to take on the Way Forward project plan, which is a multi-year capital plan improvement plan, including significant amounts of tree trimming. That is the 4% increase that was just referenced. And it has been referenced every year. We somehow get to the new year and people go, where did this 4% increase come from? It's been coming every year for 3 years.
Can I have my time back?
Yes, you can.
First and foremost, I want to make sure that we have a decorum, okay? I would like for the council members to have decorum. So let me make sure I explain myself. I said a pause, not what you guys already had planned. We said a pause. That's the first thing. Because we just came through a tumultuous time. That's it. Now, what I was referring to with the 4%, it's on record. President McGowan just came up here and said the difference remember we're on 21, he said the difference of the increase, roughly 4%. That's what he just said, I think. That's what he just said.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Can I interject? First of all, let me say this to you, Ms. Bell. I apologize. We're going to respect no matter who's at that council from this body on to that floor. And I have a problem with that tone. And this is to my colleague, no disrespect, but we're going to respect each other. Because I've been out there before, and sometimes listening out there, we can misinterpret things. And so the 4% that President McGowan was referencing to was not, it was decreasing when they come before us. In this ordinance that's going to amend the different contracts and different things they bring. Is that correct? Am I correct? So it wasn't anything about a rate increase, I don't think, because that's already done. That's a no, we can't do anything about that. That was done before the administration, before I got here, so that's already in place. But I want to apologize for your being disrespected, because I understand standing over there, and you can be emotional, and you can hear things, you cannot understand things, but we're going to respect because I can see it for the disrespect. Now, you can say no if you want to, but I know what it feels like to be down there. And I know what it feels like when you're down there and your emotions and you're hearing things. Like I got put out of here for 3 council members. So I know it could be totally misunderstood. So I apologize to you.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Hicks?
I'm not done.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. We
How
have a
long does
lot
she
going
have
on.
left?
That's okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna make this brief. I just want to say that we need accountability for any taxpayer's dollars. Okay, that's what it really comes down to it. We need to make sure that we hold what it is now, and that's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ms. Glicks, I put your name together. Ms. Glenda Hicks, please excuse me. Please come on down at this time. Okay, thank you. Ms. Hicks?
Glenda Hicks, co-founder 21st Century Memphis or Bust. Of course, you all know, well, if you don't know, we are a grassroots, 100% volunteer organization focused on improvements with MLGW. I am a retiree of Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, wherein I gave pretty much right at 20 years of service. So I have insight on things that have gone on, issues with light, gas, and water. I'm appreciative of positive things that we have seen results of, especially with the last storm that we experienced. However, regarding this particular request, I am concerned that documentation that we have now been privy to will no longer be presented in terms of what comes before the council and what documentation is available to the public. That has certainly provided very crucial insight regarding contracts, regarding salaries, job positions, new positions that have been presented before you all. So being that this council represents the citizenry and the citizens of Memphis who are the owners of Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, it is my request that we leave the threshold where it is so that all documentation comes before you. Yes, MLGW does have a board of 5 commissioners, but I've seen things get by those 5 commissioners. And I certainly have gone before the commissioners regarding concerns, and they are not given the due weight. So then I come and I follow up with you all in hopes that this board of 13 will hear. So I am requesting that you would please not remove the threshold. Thank you.
Madam Controller, if you would please prepare the screen.
Canale, yes. Carlisle, yes. Cooper, Sutton, no. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 27.
Item number 27 is a resolution approving the transfer of 15 city-owned vacant parcels to the Mo-to-Own program, Districts 3, 4, 6, 7, Super Districts 8 and 9. This resolution is sponsored by the administration.
All right. Councilman Canali, you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The committee met, recommended approval, and I so move.
It has been moved by Councilman Canali, seconded by Councilman Spinoza. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen.
We did it last time. We did it last time. With your normal process.
Members, please.
Jeff, your mic's on, Dr. Warren, thank you.
How do I get to that?
Have all council members casted their votes for this item? Thank you.
That's all right.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper, Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Please show Councilmember Logan as voting yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes. So, Councilmember Easter Thomas, I'm sorry, Dr. Green. Please show Easter Thomas is voting yes, and also Chase Carlisle, council member, is voting yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will go back to item number 26.
Thank you. Item number 26 is an ordinance establishing downtown parking garage revitalization and safety program up for third and final reading. Ordinance number 5943 is sponsored by council members Easter Thomas, Spinoza, Green, Swearingen Washington, Smiley, Warren, and Logan, and it was held from February 3rd.
Councilman, are you in the queue? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Councilman Carlisle, you in the queue?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Out of abundance of caution, I'm going to recuse from this item just with a potential financial interest with some of the garages that are in our entities. So with that, I'm going to recuse from this item. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. Councilman Canali, you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The committee met, recommended approval. It's like waiting on Christmas. It's finally here, and I so move.
That item has been properly moved by Councilman Canali, second by Councilman Spinoza, and please show a recusal from Vice Chair Carlisle. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for a vote.
Canali, yes. Carlisle recused. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes. Please show Councilmember Easter Thomas as voting yes on this item.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 29.
Thank you. Item number 29 is a resolution to transfer and appropriate additional construction funds in the amount of $2,119,055.40 from Drainage ST Cover Line, project number ST03205, to Morningside Drain Improvement, project number ST02032, to fund project expense increase for upgrades to the drainage system in the Morningside Place neighborhood, District 5, Super District 9. This resolution is sponsored by the administration.
Councilman Canali, you're recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The committee met, recommended approval, and I so move.
It has been properly moved by Councilman Canali, seconded by Councilman Spinoza. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for item number 29.
For item number 29, Canali, yes. Carlisle, yes. Ford, yes. Please Please show Councilmember Easter Thomas is voting yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, if you will please call item number 30.
Item number 30 is a resolution to allocate $8,000 in FY 26 council community grant program funds. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Councilman Smiley.
Vice Chair Carlisle, you are recognized at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The committee met, recommends approval, and I so move.
It has been properly moved by Vice Chair Carlisle, seconded by Councilman Dr. Warren. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for item number 30.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. Canale, yes. Carlisle, yes. Ford, yes. Please show Councilmember Easter Thomas is voting yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes.
That item passes. That brings us to our same night minute items. Vice Chairman Carlisle, would you please read the same night minute items into record?
I will, Madam Chair, but if you'll allow me, I need to make a correction of an error that I made earlier.
Yes, sir.
Without objection, if I could move the hold on item number 20 to March 24th.
Thank you.
March 24th, 2026 meeting. I know
Item
that I made a
20.
motion for the 3rd, but I wanted to reflect what is on our agenda. Thank you, Madam Chair. And now moving on, if no objections to that? All right. All right, Madam Comptroller, here we go. Our same night item minutes, the same night minute items are 5, 6, 7, 15, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39, and I so move.
Thank you. It's been moved by Vice Chairman Carlisle. It's been seconded by Councilman Canale. Madam Comptroller, if you will please prepare the screen for a vote.
Canale, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes. Please show Dr. Easter Thomas voting yes on this item, please. This last item, thank you.
That item passes. Colleagues, this brings us to the point of our meeting of our general public comment cards. We will start with Martina X. Okay. We will now have Alexandria Salisbury. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing it. If you'll just state your name and you may proceed.
Okay. Thank you. Alexandria Salisbury. Memphis Animal Services is failing our city. Mass is failing and refuses to help animals who are being abused. I have a neighbor who has a dog on a chain outside 24/7 with a half-constructed doghouse that's not normally even there. Currently, it's not there. The dog never has food or water. I have called, I have emailed, I have begged Mass and the police to help this dog who is skin and bones. I can see ribs and the spine bones sticking out. The dog was outside when we had our ice storm for all hours of the day and night, without food and water. It took days for me to even get some type of response from Mass. Mass Officer Williams finally called me today after days of attempting to Facebook message them, email them, call the non-emergency line, and I was passed off, buck after buck. This is a complete waste of taxpayer dollars when our own government entities will not help us. Why on earth would I lie about a dog that's skin and bones? Why on earth would I lie even though Officer Williams acted like I was lying and crazy. He told me he disagreed with me. According to another neighbor in my neighborhood, Sherwood Forest, if you're curious, this same animal abuser has lived there for years now. Supposedly, they're on the animal abuse registry list. However, they are still with animals. They have had at least 4 in the past 3 years that I've witnessed. They have been called numerous times. One year, about 2 years ago, the neighbor beside them called the police. The police actually did show up. They had a puppy chained out in ice without a shelter, and nothing was happened. Nothing happened to those folks. Did you all know we have an animal abuse registry? Only 4 people, and I know that's a lie, only 4 people appear on that registry. Not the man who just threw a dog off the bridge. Mind you, he got let out easily. So when are we going to take accountability and stop being complacent when it comes to animal abuse in this city? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Chief Adams, if you will talk with Ms. Salisbury and get her information so we can follow up with her concerns.
Thank
you. Are you going to do it? Okay.
Thank you.
This is terrible. William Boner. Okay. Timothy Vance.
Hey, how y'all doing? This is my first time coming down here, and I got a big experience today. And I just want to talk about this abandoned house on the corner of my street that I've talked to Miss Estes Walker. Miss, what's her name? I'm sorry. Esther Thomas. I'm sorry. Be respected. Yes, I have. I called her and several times and about the complaint I have about this abandoned house has been caught on fire. It's just a mess. And I've been trying to get it tore down. And it's been up to like 2-3 years. And code enforcement come over. They take breaks. They done posted everything on it. It's known. And I'm trying everything I can to get it torn down. I've got pictures. It's an insult. It's an embarrassment for someone to come to my house to see that on the corner. And nothing being done about it. And I've called Ms. Estes. I've talked to you about it. And no response back. So I'm trying to get someone to say, okay, let's tear it down. Because the house been torn. It's been on fire. It's just standing there. Everything's around. It's just mess, just debris, everything.
We're sorry you're enduring that. I know that it's just a ridiculous sight to see.
It really is. And I know it wouldn't be like that in Bartlett. It wouldn't be like that in Collierville. It wouldn't be like that in Germantown. They've been tore that house down in 2 days. So I'm just trying to figure out why is it still standing on my street on the corner for that long.
We're going to have Dr. Easter Thomas's analyst to follow up with you so we can see what's going on.
Well, I've already talked to her, and I'm trying to get to move forward because I called her and I talked to her people, Clay Wilson on the 6th of January, and I talked to another person on the 6th. I've talked to everybody dealing with her.
Thank you.
So I'm trying to move forward past her.
We have our chief here, and we're going to let him handle that situation, and he'll be able to see if it's in court or what's going on, what resources we can get.
Okay.
Chief Antonio Adams, right there. If you go to him, he'll take care of you.
Thanks for coming down.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, here to help.
We'll work to get that resolved. All right, and now we will have Mr. Joe Kent.
Joe Kent, 5111 Flamingo. I appreciate the new direction of transit, but how redneck is it to botch your own transit system? I'm focused on the past and not repeating the same mistakes. I've been told MATA challenges go back 20 years. We will find out. While I do not believe that the MATA implosion in any way is the fault of Mayor Young's administration, I do believe the Mayor Young has a responsibility to educate the public on what historically led to the MATA's implosion. For years 2019 to the present. The mayor did promise he would do that. To me, that would involve an in-depth presentation to the council, followed by a press conference to ensure that such an implosion never happens again. I believe MATA is a template for how public agencies are ripped off by elitists. For example, I believe the elitists are heavily benefiting from the inflated tree trimming public contract at MLG&W. As far as MATA, I believe the rip came primarily from inflated expenditures on technology that does not work. Finally, I believe elitist public agency rip-offs are common and should be stopped. Knowing how those rips are structured, as the mayor educates us on MATA, will go a long way on ending elitist public agency rip-offs. Again, how redneck is it to rip off your own public transit agency? It's just terribly redneck. Now, one thing the Institute had the pleasure of disproving is McGowan's claim of decades and decades of MLGW capital underinvestment. That never occurred. That lack of the evidence of adequate investment points to public contract fraud. Now, as far as the monthly statements being up on the website at MLG&W, that's solely because of me and a very ratepayer-centric leak by the former counselor, Patrice Robinson. That's why they're up there. They would not be up there if it wasn't for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. With that, we will take a motion to adjourn. Second. All right, it's been moved by Councilman Canale and seconded by